Hello, my Astro family. This is Lada from astrolada.com with your monthly September 2019 horoscopes. And this month I have good news for you. All of us on certain different levels of our life are going to experience removal or release of some difficult situation, of some blockage, because Saturn is turning direct for all of us together with the South Node is conjunct for the last time. So some karmic unresolved situation from the past that has been bugging you, that has been delaying you, blocking you, that has been making you feel inadequate, not enough in some way, or that's been putting a lot of burden on you, will be completed. And as well, we have a lot of planets in Virgo for the most of the month. So this month, all of us on some level will become a little bit more perfect, a little bit more we'll improve that area, because Virgo is about improvement, perfection. And we'll do some very practical, we'll get done a lot of practical work, because that's again the energy of Virgo, to do something practical, to get things done, to not waste time, to organize, to systemize in some way. So a lot of good things in front of us, and this Virgo stellium will subdue a little bit the crazy Jupiter square Neptune, which is making us go away with the fairies and project unrealistic expectations. So I'll explain to you for each sign. But before I start, I want to tell you that we are doing a retreat, 2 retreats actually, in Bali in February. Me and Natalia, one retreat is just with her, the second one is with me and her, very intense. We have space only for 20 people for mine and her retreat, and we're going to work with astrology, psychology, occult methods. It's called Goddess Retreat. It's only for women, how to basically become the woman that makes you happy, to manifest easy. And we're going to work with your horoscope personally, with each person. What does in your horoscope show that your blockages are, how to remove them, remedies, and all of those things, what career should be for you, what partner for you. So come and join us. And also in September, we have a marathon for wishes, how to fulfill your wishes. It's 30-day programming of your mind, and specific tactics and exercises every 2-3 days, and homework, how to fulfill your wishes. And also we have a seminar, a webinar with Victor, one of our best astrologers, on career and money. It's going to be 7 hours, 6-7 hours webinar, plus he gives you 15 minutes reading on your career and money for everyone that attends. Taurus, let's see what September brings for you. Whether it's your rising sun or moon in Taurus, this video is for you. You see, there'll be a big conglomeration of stellium, as we call it in astrology, in your 5th house in Virgo. So there'll be a lot of focus on your love life. For those of you who are single or even married or in relationships, love life is still part, the ability to have fun with your partner, the ability to give and receive love from each other, to make each other feel romantic with butterflies in the stomach, even if you're 20 years in a marriage or relationship, we still crave those things. So you put a lot of energy into that with all those planets there. It will become very important for you to have more fun, to let your hair down a little bit with this powerful big house, 5th house, that is getting activated. But also because the energy is happening in the sign of Virgo, so you have to show more discrimination. Virgo is to discriminate, is to basically to show some selectiveness when it comes to your love life, when it comes to the way you're having fun as well. Because Taurus, you're always going to have Virgo in the 5th house. Whether it's your sun, moon, or ascendant in Taurus, Virgo triggers your 5th house. And it means that always in the way you're having fun, the way you're expressing love, you have to be more selective. You have to be, that's the Virgo energy. Virgo rules the intestines. The intestines, they break down things. So basically you have to analyze things, and they break down the chemical things that we eat, the food, and they absorb what is good for the body, and they eliminate what is not good for the body. So the same way you have to be generally in your love life, and this month especially you notice it, Taurus, that you're kind of more, yes, you're focused on love and romantic relationships, on having fun. You can actually meet someone romantically. You can go on a date. If you're married, you can spend more time with your partner, doing fun things together to enhance the love bond, maybe having a bit more sex than normal as well, more enjoyments, more fun stuff. But you're going to do it in a Virgoish way. You're going to be more selective. So you're not gonna. That's why I think Taurus is naturally trying. They're known to, when they're having fun, to choose things that are high quality, because Virgo is in their fifth house. How do you have fun? What do you enjoy doing? Well, Virgo is discriminative. I'm not gonna take everything. I'm just gonna choose the best that's good for me, that's the best quality, like the intestines do. So you're gonna be like that in your love life. You're gonna show some discrimination, even some critical thinking when it comes to who you give your love to, who you give, how you receive, how you give love. Also, it's your children. Taurus is usually quite critical to their children because Virgo is in their fifth house. They're quite, I wouldn't say it in a negative way, but they have high expectations of their children. They want the best. Virgo is perfectionist, so they're very perfectionist towards their children. They want them to be the best and stuff. To only choose the best for them as well. So you notice a lot of activity happening if you have children, or if you're trying to get pregnant, actions towards that direction. But you approach it with with more selectiveness, with more to put order, for example, to help your children put order in their life, to organize, to be more productive. And you're probably going to want to do something productive, something useful with your children. And you'll notice that if you have children, your child, one of your children will become more organized, more orderly this month, more down to earth, more helpful, wants to help you solve problems, more problem solving orientation. And you might have to be, for example, to help your children more with schools, with lessons. That's the Virgo energy. Do something practical for them, something nerdish, something bookish. But it's also creative imagination, the fifth house. So you're doing some creative projects. You'll notice that your creativity will start flowing more this month. You might feel a little bit overwhelmed. You might get a lot of new ideas because the fifth house is the house of to get some original ideas, to get some something that comes out from your own imagination rather than some kind of a repeat idea. So your creative juices will be flowing, but again, you'll be more selective towards them. You'll be more, your creativity will use a lot of analytical power, which is Virgo will use a lot of the highest quality that Virgo expects. You might, for example, want to perfect some technique, some artistic technique, or you might want to perfect some creation that you've done, some business plan, anything that we create out of our own inspiration, not something someone told us because it's work, something that we used our imagination, or it might be at work, some project that you're doing, but you're using your imagination, your creativity, your inspiration for it. This is the fifth house. So you'll be doing a lot of those things. But in a Virgoish way, you want to perfect it, to put the final touches, to, analyze it from different points of view. You might feel critical towards your perfections, like you can do towards your children, but it's with the point of view to improve it, to make it better. So don't be hard on them or on yourself too much. Just know that you have this perfectionist streak towards your creations, whether children or some creative projects. Also, you might want to break down in smaller parts some creative project, or some to analyze a relationship, the romantic side of it. You might want to kind of, for example, want to understand the autonomy of love, and to read such book, for example, about romantic, how to bring up the romance. And Virgo will go, because you have Virgo in the fifth house, you'd approach it in a kind of bookish way. Let me read, what is the science behind it, let me see the chemistry behind it, break it down. Or for children, you might want to improve your relationship with children. You notice this month you want to read more such books in the Virgo, break it down, learn the system. Virgo is to learn some system, some that is kind of like, this is what you do first, this is what you do. So you talk 10 minutes with your child, you give them undivided, they want practical solutions to problems. This is Virgo, to problems. So you're going to find such practical solutions to problems with your children if you approach it in a methodical way, in a very kind of grounded, scientific way almost. And that's the answer, how you should in all your life approach love. I know it kind of sucks to approach love in such way, but almost like to have a plan, how to, to make your partner feel loved, how to give and receive, how to have a plan when you go on a date. This is the Virgo approach for all Taurus in regards to their love life, in regards to their relationship with children, to approach it in such kind of analytical way, with a prepared program, step-by-step action plan, and follow it. Kind of don't lose your cool, because Virgo is a cool sign, doesn't lose your cool, and that's your strategy for you. But of course, you can have excitement there because it's the fifth house of having fun, playing around more as well. But have a program, as well. But you need some discriminative energy to battle some, not to battle, but to balance, to measure down some of the Neptune and Jupiter influences, because they're in a difficult aspect, the square as we call it, this month as well. And they make us fly away with the fairies and escaping imaginative, unrealistic, or overly idealized things in our life. So you're going to use the discriminative energy, and you're going to notice maybe the struggle in you this month, Taurus, in regards of this Virgo energy, to discriminate in regards to some friends, because Neptune is receiving, this even more expansive and allowing influence square from Jupiter. So if you'll notice that if you've been too allowing to a friend or someone from your social environment or group, or someone on the internet that your acquaintances from, someone that you're part of an internet group, it doesn't have to be just like your best friends. It can be just people, basically a social environment, either online or normal, virtual or real social environment. It might be colleagues as well, something. So people is the 11th house, society, people around us. If you've been too allowing, too easygoing, too bohemian, giving too much, or allowing, maybe not seeing their weaknesses and idealizing of some sort, or maybe someone promised you something and you're like, oh, what a fantastic person. But now the Virgo energy here triggers it, opposes it, and says, am I being maybe too enabling to my friends, or am I being too easygoing, or am I letting them do too much, or is that person being very truthful? So you're gonna analyze something like that and hopefully remove the things that are not too practical, realistic, or maybe they're just in your mind that you're projecting, all this person is like that. Maybe they never promised you that thing, and you're gonna create a bit more balanced attitude towards those kind of people in your social environment. Might be even clients, or even the 11th house is your goals and wishes, your long-term goals and wishes that you're working towards. And you might notice some with your critical thinking that Virgo develops, and especially because it's from the fifth house, you're very intelligent. The fifth house is of the house of intelligence, that you have sudden realizations. Like fifth house is where we see like something on the spot. So you might have sudden realizations by critically analyzing your friends or people around you, or your long-term goals and wishes and dreams. What is not productive there, or what is wishful thinking, and what to remove so you can make it happen in a practical way. And then you take those creative steps in that direction. And you think of more, and with your creative imagination here from the fifth house, you think more practical ways, Virgo, more and plan specifically how to go about and achieve this a little bit illusory goal that you have, or some kind of a bit more fantastical one, or one that you're still trying to manifest, but it's in the invisible world. Plus, you will have to use this discriminative and selective thinking in regards to matters concerning your resources, because Jupiter is also squaring Neptune, and then those planets are going to square Jupiter. And 8th house is resources that you have, yours and those with partner. So maybe you might have to become more discriminative, more selective, more analytical, break down your material, how much you spend with your partner, business partner, personal partner, how much do you pay to employees, how much do clients pay you, and make an analysis and break down what is a better plan for it. And you might realize that you've been spending a bit too much here with your spouse or with your business partner, or some investments that you're making. It's a financial house, the 8th house. And it's a house of how you give and receive, giving to others, receiving from others. So maybe you've been a bit too generous, or maybe someone has been too enabling you with resources too much. And there will be the need to analyze, rethink maybe a little bit that. And Virgo wants to make smaller, while Jupiter and Neptune wants to make bigger, borderless, without Neptune, so without borders, without limits. So you might notice this fight between you, to make smaller, to concise, to break down, to analyze, that is fighting with the desire to expand, to grow bigger. So Jupiter wants to grow bigger the resources that come to you from others, wants to grow bigger the mutual resources of your family, or with your spouse and partner, what you give and receive from others, from clients, what you receive, for example, and also with friends, with your goals and dreams. But the Virgo energy tones those down. And the good thing is that it will allow you, when you see the imperfections of those plans to grow big or whatever, to think of a more practical plan for them, and to basically be able to manifest it in a real tangible way, because Virgo energy is tangible material, it's earth. So yes, you will notice, of course, you'll notice that you're having some big dreams and desires that are also connected. There might be some expenses that come mutual between you and partner as well, because of a goal that you're trying to fulfill, Neptune in the 11th house. But Virgo is trying to kind of use your creative imagination, your creativity, to kind of make all those things work together in a more practical way. So critical thinking that you have to use in regards to mutual resources, more analytical attitude in regards to money, in regards to finances with another, in regards to taxes and insurances as well, of any sort, and in regards to friendships, networks, income and gains is the 11th house, and as well as long-term goals. All right, we have another positive influence, and this is Saturn conjunct the South Node this month for the last time. Whew. And South Node is something from the past, something karmic, something that has to be released, that we've been dragging around, something that is part of our security pattern, paradigm, that is outdated now and it's not necessary. So I think that in the last 10-12 months, when Saturn first started hanging out with the South Node so close, there was the urge to complete something from the past, and things from the past came to the surface that you have to deal with. Saturn is to work through hard something, to face again, and to feel the fear there, and to release eventually. And because this is the final conjunction, you can notice that there will be the removal of some difficult problem in your life. And that problem can be connected to very different areas, but specifically to the 9th house and the 10th house, because Saturn rules both career, your 10th house, and your 9th house, which is your belief systems. So you can notice that, for example, some challenge connected to your career is changing direction this month, because Saturn is starting to move forward. So some delays connected to that can start improving, gradually shift, start changing direction. They can be a final test and something that you have to leave behind in regards to your career as well. But also Saturn is specifically in your 9th house. So you can notice that there is the release of old beliefs that are happening, that you're letting go of old beliefs. Completion of some karmic burden or duty that you have in regards to teaching, for example, as well. There can be the completion of some work projects connected to teaching, connected to import, export, connected to foreign countries. It can be if there was some difficulty that you had to be dealing with for months, or even longer in regards to foreign countries, for documents for foreign residents, in regards to higher education, university or diplomas of some sort, in regards to belief system, in regards to optimism even. If you've been feeling quite negative in a sense, because the 9th house is to believe, to have faith for the future, inspiration, to believe that in the ideals, if you've been lacking on those, if you've been doubting your beliefs, if you've been doubting what is the meaning and purpose of it, you're going to start noticing that those fears are starting to go away gradually by the end of September, that this more negative point of view towards the world, which is the 9th house, this more negative slant of interpreting the worldly reality, or more fearful image of God, of someone who's going to punish you, or faith in the universe, that this is your attitude. How do you see life and the universe or God? Do you think it's a punishing one? Because with Saturn, there are a lot of Tauruses might have been feeling that God is the universe wants you to be, tough, to be hard, that it's more punishing, that it's more demanding, that is very karmic. What you do, it comes back to you. And now some of those more painful worldviews, the South Node conjunct Saturn, they might for the last time escalate, but you are releasing them. Is the last time. You can see the death and the release of some more painful belief systems that you've had, or way that you've looked at your world, at your life, some powerful such realizations, and you start releasing them and removing them. But also on the more material level, the ninth house is traveling, education, higher knowledge, that teachers teaching, any projects with teaching teachers, that you might be completing such a project, or there might be the removal of a blockage or difficulty in that area of life. So there you go, Taurus, and I hope to see you maybe in Bali with me in February for the beautiful retreat, or in September our marathon for wishes, how to fulfill your wishes with Neptune in your 11th house of goals and wishes being activated by so many planets. Might be the perfect month for you. 1 month of uh, practical advice on fulfilling of wishes, or on our webinar for career with Victor Career and Money, plus 15-minute reading on your own personal resources, money and finances and career. So thank you, and I'll see you next month.